service, Love is All There Is presented by Dr. Karmen Smith. Dr. Smith graduated cum laude from California State University with a degree in mental health research while at the same time completing an internship at Cornell University. She received her Master's of Social Work from UNLV and became a Doctor of Divinity through the University of Metaphysics. She is a retired trauma specialist, having worked with the Clark County Department of Family Services. Dr. Smith comes from a unique perspective, bringing mental health, metaphysics, and a shamanic background to her teachings. She is author of the book, The I Am Solution: Simple Practices to Transform Fear Back to Love. Today, she will be discussing what it really means to see, live, and speak from the truth that love is all there is. Now is the time to affirm these truths and to understand that they really do set us free. Let's begin with licensed spiritual practitioner Richard Houston as he presents an affirmation followed by the invocation for the celebration service.
Welcome. I'm Richard Houston, a licensed practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. And I'm glad that you joined us for today's celebration service. Let's take a moment to consider this week's affirmation. You may wish to jot it down, take a picture of it, and keep it as a source of inspiration throughout the week. I'll read the affirmation and let's share a moment of silence, and then I will go into the invocation. The love of the divine flows through me. The grace of the divine washes over me. The energy of the divine that creates and sustains all is within me now and every moment.
Fill me, God, be thou my grace. Fill me, God, be thou my grace. Fill me, God, be thou my grace. I know God's light shines within me. I know God's light shines within me.
For our invocation, we take this time to go within and connect. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Rest into your seat that supports you and come to a place of quiet stillness. Our divine nature is love, and is present right here, right now, as we are one with all that is. In this moment, I speak the words for myself and each one of us as we know the truth of our beings. We invoke the spirit within and come into harmony with ourselves, our spiritual community, and the global community. We open up to love that is ever present all the time. We open up to receiving and being grace, joy, and peace. Love surrounds us, enfolds us, and is within us. All the abundance that Spirit is, we are. We walk forward from our inner peace and do so with kindness and inclusion. As we do what is ours to do, we act from the love within us and follow through with integrity. We see through the appearances to the truth of our being and all beings. We know that this time together will guide us as individuals and collectively to our highest good. From a place of gratitude, we release these words into the law that always says yes. And together we say, and so it is.
Fill me, God, be thou my grace. Fill me, God, be thou my grace. Fill me, God, be thou my grace. I know God's light shines within me. I know God's light shines within me. I know God's light shines within me.
Love, be encouraged, love will see you through, yes, love, be the first to love, fill your heart with love, be encouraged, love will see you through, yes, love, be the first to love, fill your heart with love, be about it, love, sing a song about it, love, never doubt that love, inspirational love is our shelter, love, now and always, love, before and after, love, 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 it gives you courage, love, heals your heart, yes, love, it's the best thing, love, you can't go wrong with love, it's eternal love, it has no end, no love, so stand up for it, love, full dimensional love, it's our shelter, love, now and always, love, before and after, love, love, mother, mother, there's too many of you crying, ooh, brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Ooh, yes, now love, it's eternal love, has no end, no love, it's eternal love, has no end, no love. It's eternal love, has no end, no love. It's eternal love, has no end, no love. It's our shelter, love, now and always, love, before and after, love, love, love. It's our shelter, love, now and always, love, before and after, love, love, love.
This is Dr. Karmen Smith. I want to first of all say how grateful I am to be asked to speak at Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas, this wonderful Sunday, this special Sunday. And the theme for this month of November is living as compassionate conduits. And my topic today fits right in with that. It's called Love is All There Is. And we're living in a time where there are two energies that are very apparent and transparent. We're living in a time of fear, which is one energy, and a time of love, which is the creative source energy that never dies, that is always here within us. And so when I first came to Centers for Spiritual Living, which is based on the teachings of Ernest Holmes, it was called Science of Mind. And Ernest Holmes was a brilliant teacher, a seer, and a knower. And so his teachings are based on the truth, which is love is all there is. And that love in God is to be found in who and what we truly are. Within us is that source. And so whenever we look outside of us for the source of our happiness, for the source of our bliss, for the source of our stability, we're encountered with instability, and we're encountered with fear when things don't work out, or fear when people that we expect certain things from disappoint us. And then we don't trust, and fear sets in. Right now, we're living in a time of fear, but here's the good news. The good news is that this teaching transmutes and just teaches us that fear is not real. But you only know that if you've gone within and connected to the source within you, which does not fear. And it even says in the Bible that God didn't give you the spirit of fear, but of power and of sound mind. And that power is to be found inside of us. So when we have a pandemic of fear, what do you do? Well, I remember coming to the Center for Spiritual Living in Greater Las Vegas, and these were on the desk for those newcomers that didn't know about the teaching, and it kind of summarizes what Center for Spiritual Living teaches, and I'd like to read it because it is powerful. It says, what Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas teaches is God is all there is. God and I are one. Thought is creative. It is done as I believe, and heaven is within me. These are powerful teachings. And these are the teachings, not when you just know it intellectually, but when you've actually developed your spiritual practices so that everywhere you look, especially within you, you're looking with the lens of God, the eyes of God. And so when you look at the TV or you look at the news or whatever it is, you're not looking at it like a regular human being that doesn't know these teachings. You're looking at it through the lens of love, the lens of God, so that you're saying, no, God is there. God is there. Love is there. But they're not showing that because they want to give you the spirit of fear. Fear helps you consume, helps you buy things, run up in gun sales, run up in mental health pharmaceuticals, run up in purses on Amazon because I've got to buy something to make me feel safe, to make me feel better. This is the fear bubble that we've lived in, but no more. Because right now people are waking up. There's been a light that has shined on falsities, shined on the origins of fear, the intentions of fear. We see it now more clearly. But those that have done the spiritual practices, that know that God is all there is, because when I looked within myself and I saw the shadow that I have, and I can embrace that and say, no, I'm going to transmute that. I'm going to transcend that because God and love is all there is. But I've been harboring fear, judgment, criticism, worry, doubt. And I've had those things. So now that I see what I have had and I have loved it and transmuted it into something else called love, then I can look at the world and say, wait a minute, love is all there is because I'm bringing it into existence, because I brought it into existence in my own life. So those of you that are in fear, know that God is all there is. When I was growing up in Sunday school, they would say love is God, or God is love. And so when I look around, I know the truth that God is in everything. I'm living, breathing, having my being in God, that this matter world is created based on my thoughts. And if I am more and I am enough, and I am eternal, and I am powerful, that it's going to be reflected in the world that I live in. If I am safe, if I am confident, if I treat myself with love and care and treat others the same way, that is the world that I will be creating from this space of God knowing. Then I create heaven on earth, because heaven is within me. So when we see chaos in the world, it calls for a personal transformation. Now, as a therapist, one of the things that we're taught is you can't change another person. Another person has to want to change, has to have a vision of what change looks like, and has to have an impetus for that change, a catalyst, if you will. Well, what do you think God beings are? The people that have done the spiritual practices, we're the alchemists. We're the ones with the higher vibration that can transmute a lower vibration. What does that mean? That means that when you're confronted with fear and hate, that's a lower frequency. It is weaker than the higher frequency of compassion, love, trust, acceptance, gratitude. So I am grateful for being prepared for this moment. This moment is all hands on deck, or all hearts on deck, all hearts aligned with mind, and all right actions will be met with power and the God presence that is in everything. So when we see love, it is not weakness. When we see compassion, it is not giving in to evil. It is standing strong in love. And when you stand in love, fear cannot stand with you. It has to fall. That's what we're called on to do. Not to just read the words, but to become love, to become the superpower, to become the Savior, to become the Christ consciousness. It's not about preaching it, talking about it, saying it on an intellectual level, saying it and not believing it, because your heart and your mind have to be aligned with these words. It's not enough to say, God is all there is. It's enough when you know that you and God are one. And when you look at the world through that lens, you recognize that fear has a purpose. And I heard this and it just stuck with me. That fear is the flame that burns away everything that is not you. It touches everything that's not you. Fear of not being good enough, well, that's got to burn off. And when you allow fear and go into it and say, no, that's not who I am. I am powerful. I am confident. Then you become the phoenix rising from the ashes. And that phoenix is there to teach other people what it's like to remove fear and rise. Fear is a lower vibration. Love helps you rise and be an example to other people that are caught up in chaos and fear. There are times when you'll see fear infiltrate your family or infiltrate your own heart. Those are times that you want to do the exact opposite of fear. Fear is limiting. It keeps you in a box. You don't know who you are. Love, agape love, is freedom. It helps you get out because you're not afraid. So I'll give you an example of what happened. We were watching the news and listening to social media sometimes, and sometimes even when you turn it off, you still get the collective fear, the collective consciousness, that energy wave of fear that most people have. So my son was looking at these images of people that look like him being persecuted by the police, not feeling loved or secure in his own country. And so we said, why don't we do a road trip? Why don't we go out and see love is all there is? Why don't we go to all of these states? And you know what? We're going to be love wherever we go. We're not going to be afraid. We're not going to be stuck in fear. And of course, we did it with 6 feet distance, and we did it with all of the COVID regulations. But we got in our car, and before we did, we got two big magnetic placards for the car. And I asked my son, what should we put on there? He said, why don't you put love is all there is? So we did. We were love warriors. We went to Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. We went to the national parks. Everywhere we went, we gave out little cards on people's car. We handed it to them, words of encouragement that we had written, and we were love warriors. What are love warriors? Love warriors are not afraid to love in the midst of chaos, not afraid to give someone an encouraging word. Love warriors is what we need right now. We had an awesome experience, and we found out that there were people just waiting for permission to love because they were so scared. What if I'm criticized? What if it's not popular what I say? Love anyway. Love brings out the creativity, the laughter, the joy. All of those are higher frequencies, and that's what's needed right now to transform the lower frequency of fear. That's what we need. And so you can do all kinds of little things or big things to increase your vibrational energy. And when the world is saying one thing that has to do with fear, hate, judgment, a love warrior chooses every time, no matter what they're confronted with, that love is all there is. And we stand in love no matter what. Our conversations are about creating a new world. When we see wonderful news on TV, we spread it instead of spreading fear and hatred and anger and violence, because that's not the majority. The majority of the hearts in the world are waking up and they're saying, no more. We're being free. This is an exciting time to be alive. It's exciting if you know who you are. I am powerful. I am wise. I am courageous. I am here. I am now. And I am that I am. That means that you're here at the right time. That means that you'll be placed in the right vicinity. That means that you'll be talking to someone that you're supposed to be talking to, because your heart and your mind are aligned. You're open to love, and you will be sent as an expression of God in those times and in those places that are most needed. Are you ready to mount up? I think it was probably about 2 years ago. I was doing a talk, and after the talk, someone handed me this declaration. I read it, and it was so powerful that I had to put it down. But I'm going to read it to you, and I want you to see how apropos it is for this time, even though it was given to me a couple of years ago. Love Declaration. A covenant for humanity. I am your partner in awakening from fear. From this moment on, at all times, under all conditions, I declare I am and I will be for all beings a conscious source of absolute love. And I promise I will serve only this love in you and in me and in all, no matter what, for the rest of my life. Now, the first time I read that, I was like, well, wow, that's quite a covenant. I'm going to be helping. I'm promising to help people awaken from fear. Because fear is not real. As a matter of fact, Dr. Wayne Dyer said, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. So basically, it's a dream that people think is real. But the truth is that love is all there is. When I wrote my book, my editor told me, she said, don't use Wayne Dyer's definition of fear. Use your own. So I came up with from ego, altering reality. Fear alters our reality. It's not real. So when you're sitting and you're still, and you peel away, who am I? Who am I? Am I a race? No, that's not who I am. Am I a gender? No, that's not who I am. Am I my name on my driver's license? No, that's not who I am. And when you whittle it all down, just like a piece of wood, what you're left with is I'm an energy that's in everything. I am creative. I am love. I am eternal. I can't die. I have no body. I am in all people. So, of course, if I'm in all people, I want everyone to awaken from fear. And from that we build. From that we build a system that's loving. From that we build and create heaven on earth. We can do that because the God in us sees possibilities. The God in us sees a new day, a new earth. But it's not based on words. It's based on being that word. The Word made flesh. So join me in this new day, this new vision, where we become the power that transmutes fear to the only energy that can transmute it, and that is love.
Thank you so much, Dr. Smith, for your uplifting message.
When darkness tries to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. 'Cause my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Shame no longer has a place to hide, and I am not a captive to the lies. I'm not afraid to leave my past behind. Oh, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. There's a power that can break off every chain. There's a power that can empty out a grave. There's a resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. Power in your name. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Stand in your love. Stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. When I stand in your love. Stand in your love. Stand in your love.
Thank you, David, for that wonderful song. And thank you for your generous gift and support of the Center. We remain committed to serving you. Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas is continuing to provide enriching services, expanding classes, and powerful connections within our community. Be sure to watch the announcements at the end of today's service for what's upcoming in the following weeks. During this time, we have the opportunity to remember the power of prayer. Know that licensed spiritual practitioners are deeply committed to supporting you through prayer. 2 practitioners are providing spiritual support right now from their homes by sitting in meditation during this service. We thank Barbara Lyle and Elizabeth Loria Mayfield for holding the high watch for each one of us today. Now is the time for prayer. Science of Mind doesn't use prayer to petition God for things. Instead, we affirm God's presence in all things, everywhere, all the time. Here again is Dr. Smith to unite us in prayer.
Won't you join me in a gratitude prayer? I am so grateful for this opportunity to be on this planet right now at this time, being a light in darkness, being able to shine, and knowing that that's why I am here. That's why I chose to be here during this time. That when there is chaos, I have more energy. That in weakness, I am strong. I am so grateful for that type of energy that is flowing through me, that power that I feel daily, and I'm so grateful for. We are here as light bringers, as God made flesh. We are here in this powerful position to be the light for those that have never seen light. To be love when people don't understand what agape means. Unconditional love. You don't have to say something or be something in order for me to love you. I love you because the same love that is in me made you. That we are one, and there is a Maya, there is an illusion that says we are divided and separate. I don't buy into it. It's not the truth. I'm grateful for knowing that. It's not something I believe, I know. And this power will create loving systems, loving institutions that care about people. That's agape. That is the energy that is going to change, and I'm grateful for it. This agape love I see everywhere. I'm grateful for seeing it. I'm grateful for it being here. I'm grateful to create from it. We are the change. We are the power. Not because we are against something, but because we are for love. This love that our children will experience, this change, this movement is called evolution. And as we evolve closer into this love space, and every cell of our body and our genetic code is even being changed towards agape, we're grateful for it. We see how divinity moves. And it warms us. And it calms us as we go higher and higher in our vibration. So that nothing can stand where love is unless it is transmuted into itself. We give thanks. We let it be so. Take a deep breath. And so it is.
Use me, oh.
Amen. Love you.